So it looks like there is some pretty crazy news coming from America right now. And to be honest, it isn't really surprising. It was expected, especially after the debate against Joe Biden and Trump. And he had a lot of pressure. And people have been saying, inside people have been saying for weeks now that soon enough, before it gets too close to the election date, they're going to have to get rid of Biden. And to be quite honest with you, it's a good thing that's going to happen. Now, I'm glad, very much glad it's going to happen. It refreshes the state. It brings it back to where it wants to go. And I'm glad because America needs someone who actually has a brain. Now, should they put an age limit on Joe Biden, or should they put an age limit on any president who wants to run? Yes, I don't know what that age should be. I'm going to say 60s, like 70, 65, maybe the maximum age. That goes half of Congress, or 90% of Congress right there. Because most of them are old as shit anyway. It feels like half of America's government is being run by people who are in their late 60s, which is not bad, but early 70s, upwards of, I think some people are 90 there. It's crazy. Why on earth are you still working there at 90? What is it? What are they? They must be paying you good if you're staying there that long, obviously. But Joe Biden obviously put a statement out, and his normal statement he put out when something like this happens. And to be honest, it's not really surprising at all. Really isn't. But this is his statement that he put out. My fellow Americans, over the past 3 years and a half, we have made great progress as a nation. And a great progress embarrassing yourself as well. I mean, you didn't really help yourself with that one, did you, Joe? You embarrassed yourself quite a lot. Let's just say that. Quite a lot. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. I mean, of course it does. Any country that has a better economy than you put sanctions and you say fuck off and you... We made historical investments in refunding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and expanding affordable healthcare to record numbers for Americans. That's funny because I still see people posting on Reddit and stuff like that their medical bills. I saw someone the other day had a heart transplant and it cost 200 and something thousand. 200 and something. Yeah, that's a really good cost there. That is an incredible cost. I think someone as well put on Reddit, they broke their leg and I think they had to stay in hospital for like 2 or 3 days. Or they badly injured themselves. I think it was broke their leg. I don't know. They badly injured themselves. They had to stay in hospital for a few days and I think it cost them 20,000. Yeah, that's incredibly well efficient. Well done, Biden. We've provided critically needed care to millions of veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legalization in the history. Didn't you want to drill somewhere? Didn't Biden want to drill somewhere again? I think he wanted to drill in the Antarctica. Well, I can't remember where it is. It the Antarctica? I don't know. But he wanted to drill somewhere. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. A lot of other people would disagree with that. I'm not an American, so I don't truly know exactly what's going on in that country. But I've seen a lot of people disagree with exactly what Biden has said on this account. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It looks like it, to be honest. I mean, you've got people like Putin and stuff like that laughing at you for making critical mistakes and making really bad mess-ups with saying stuff. Now, I'm glad Biden has gone. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's smoothly going on. Let's have a look and see who may be the next. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as a president, as your president. And while it may have been intention to seek re-election, I believe it's the best interest of my party and my country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president of the remainder of my term. It seems like he was forced. Or he's been forced to do this. It's not a surprise. People have been saying for weeks and months now that Biden needs to get out. I mean, people have been saying since he came in, to be honest, he needed to come out. Like he's I don't know if he's got dementia or whatever. Maybe that'll. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out and he gets a medical test after he's become president. Oh yeah, that's another. I think every president should undergo a medical test and a cognitive test to see if their cognitive functions and their everything is working well. Because again, they are running a country after all. The millions of American lives are in the hands of Joe Biden. You know, all it takes is him to slip up and do something wrong, and there you go. There's the entire American. And I'm you know what? I gotta respect that. I'm very surprised he hasn't done something crazy. I mean, he's sent a lot of money to Ukraine. A lot of people have their opinions about that. He's been very vocal about this Ukrainian war. Then again, Donald Trump has as well. He's been very vocal about the Ukrainian war and saying that he could stop it and stuff like this. Now, for now, this is what else he said. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest guidance to all those who've worked so hard to see me re-elected. I want to thank the Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all of this and work. Let me express my heartfelt acceptation to the American people and their faith. I believe today that what I always have. There is nothing in America can't do. When we do it together, we just have to remember we are the United States of America. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, this is it. And he put out another statement on Twitter. My fellow Democrats, I've decided not to accept my nomination and focus on all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and that's been the best decision I made. Today I will offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of a party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Now, do I think he will beat Trump? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I think Trump's lacking on that sense. The Trump supporters can only do so much. Again, who knows? Only time will tell. It's kind of hard to tell whether he'll lose or not. I think they basically were neck and neck, I think. Very, very close within the 2020 election. So I would really love to see this bring out and Biden to do. Obviously, he's going to be endorsing. I wonder what else he's going to do in his remainder term. I don't know when the election is for the Americans. I think it's November. The UK have obviously had their election in July. So, it's quite a surprising thing, to no one, absolutely no one, to be honest. It was a matter of time before Joe Biden was out. He's a serious threat, in my opinion. Just how making mistakes like that, crucial mistakes. He didn't even know what day it was one day, which is fair enough. We all do forget the day, but I mean, you're president. You kind of should know what day you're on and have a clue what day you're on. What happens if you are thinking of attacking or defending your country at a certain date and you completely forget and boom, a nuclear strike goes off on a certain day. You need to remember what day you're on. Okay, that may be a bit extreme, but yeah, he's put out his sort of proper things on this and gave his better understanding now. Yeah, Kamala Harris is probably really happy. I don't know exactly what on earth is going to happen now, and the future of America. Hopefully, Kamala Harris, I know she's being criticized a lot for her IQ. Apparently, people say she has a really low IQ. I don't exactly know if that's true or not, but a lot of people criticize Kamala Harris on just everything, and a lot of people don't like her. Now, we'll see what happens. Joe Biden, I guess he's had a decent run. Surprisingly, I'm surprised he's lasted the whole term. Well, let's just say he's kind of nearly survived the whole term. But I feel like people have been saying to him, Joe, you gotta go, man. He did get COVID like a week ago. Although it brings me back to the question. I do remember when he said, if you take this vaccine, you don't get COVID. I remember when he said that. A lot of people actually thought, oh, wait, really? No, that's... I don't know. I wonder what will happen to Joe Biden after this. Hopefully we'll, get some much needed rest and, well, spend his last few years or what if he has the last few years. But I don't know. I don't know if Trump will win or not. It's hard to say. I think a lot of people may have actually been voting for Trump purely because, well, they had no real say in anything. I think they voted for Trump, or was going to vote for Trump, because, well, Biden's not in a great state and Trump is the only one in this election that seems to be well. So this is from Sky News. Donald Trump calls Joe Biden the worst president in history. The announcement that Joe Biden, 81, has pulled out of the 2024 presidential race comes as months of speculation about his age and fitness to serve another 4 years. It was obvious from the get-go something had to be done. There's no way America could serve another 4 years under Joe Biden. It's a security threat, and I think it would make a mess. I mean, he's getting older now. He'd be 85. Depending on, I don't know is he had his birthday already. If he's not, then he'd be 86. When all that happens, he'll be old, very old. And I do feel sorry for Biden. I think, it's a serious thing. I mean, I don't know if he's got dementia or whatever. It's quite a serious thing. He's got something wrong with him. We don't need to pretend and hide that anymore and act like we don't know there isn't something wrong with him. Of course there is. And it's an unfortunate thing that there is because, well, I don't know if I'm guessing it would have been pretty good if it wasn't for him being very slow and, embarrassing himself. I mean, looking at older sort of interviews, I think he was the youngest in Congress, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but he was looking at older sort of speeches and sort of things by him. He was very alive. Now, obviously, this is when he was in his 30s, obviously. Although in his 60s, he was quite good as well. He was all there. He was, his cognitive wellness. He was, he was doing well. He was not slurring his speeches, not doing anything like that. And then you look back now. I mean, obviously, that's 20 years gone. But still, it just shows you, the body declines very quickly these days. It declines anyway, but obviously, dementia and stuff, I think, is a lot higher than it was years ago. Global warming, I don't think, is doing a very good thing to people. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Donald Trump has called Joe Biden the worst president in history of the United States. Mr. Trump did not hold back as he made the statement in a prior phone interview with Sky News. He phoned the CNN as well. Joe Biden is the worst president in the history of the United States by far. There has never been a president who has done so much damage to our country for energy independence to letting millions and millions of illegal immigrants. Yeah, that's just kind of serious. I mean, a lot of countries are going through this at the moment, not just America, through illegal immigration. It seems to be at an all-time high right now. I mean, illegal immigration is off the charts, and I think there was a huge this year anyway. There was a huge problem in I think it was Texas. There was a huge problem with illegal immigration. I think it was almost going to cause a civil war with illegal immigration. You know, it was off the books. It was, and things were getting a little serious. I don't know. We haven't heard much about that, so I'm guessing they solved the problem. But immigrants are coming through Texas, and it's getting crazy. It's getting over the top, and hopefully whoever gets in is someone that can sort of solve that issue. Now, if it's Kamala Harris, what do I think the future of America will look like? Well, people criticize Kamala Harris. They say she's got a low IQ, like I've said. They say they don't like her. She's not a very likable person. Now, I haven't seen much of her speeches or anything like that. She seems to be more in the background. I mean, she is the vice president, but, you know, they should be a little bit more open as well. In my opinion, I do think Kamala Harris should have stepped in a lot of times and been with Joe Biden a little bit more longer in his sort of things and explained what he was going to do or what he was going to say. There was rumors that he was reading off a teleprompter. It's not really surprising. I don't actually think a lot of the stuff that Joe Biden did, he actually did, to be honest with you. It just didn't look right, him doing any of this. I don't know who was doing it. Maybe Kamala Harris was doing a lot of the stuff. Who knows? I don't know who was doing it. However, it's obvious it wasn't Joe that was doing any of this in his presidential thing. No way. There's no either that or he's lying about his cognitive function. I don't know, but it just doesn't make any sense that he did all of this stuff. Although I don't know. I don't know the future of America with who they're going to get. Some people say Hillary Clinton could run again. That would be a crazy thing. I remember a lot of people actually liked them debates, and I did. I liked the Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump debates. I don't know if we'll get another debate if someone else comes in or that debate's over. I'm not too sure. The debate for Joe Biden was a complete toss-up. It just didn't work in his favor. It failed almost. It made an embarrassment out of Joe Biden, and I think he's realized that, and his team has realized, you know, Joe, you're embarrassing yourself even more. You're bringing yourself down. While, yes, a lot of people may vote for you because they don't like Trump and they don't want to see this, apparently, Project 2025, you know, it's time maybe you step down and let someone else go in. I think it's for the safety and the democracy of America. But I think America needs a president that's there, not a president that's yabbering all the time and just gets on with it. The announcement of Mr. Biden comes months after speculation. Mr. Trump also posted on his Truth Social. I think he posts on social as well. This is what Donald Trump had to say about Joe Biden on his app, Truth Social. Crooked Joe Biden was not fit to run for president, and he's certainly not fit to serve, and never was. He only attained the position of president by lies, fake news, and not leaving his basement. All those around him, including his doctor, media, knew he wasn't capable of being president, and he wasn't. And now look what they've done to our country, with millions of people coming across our border, totally unchecked and unvented, many from prisons, mental institutions, and record numbers of terrorism. We will suffer greatly because of this presidency, but we will redeem the damage he has done, make America great again. He posted that about an hour ago, and he made a make agriculture great again. He posted that today as well. Together we are going to make America great again. I think he's doing another speech. He's showing him in the Trump force as well. So yeah, that's Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's opinion on this. I don't know. I think Donald Trump, will he win this race? It's hard to say. I thought he would win the race against Joe Biden, but I think a lot of people would just wanted Trump out. I know Trump isn't a very liked person, other than his hardcore supporters, which I don't know how many of them actually support him. I don't know how much of America. There are parts of America that are deeply Republican, and there are parts of America that are deeply liberal. It's so obvious. But I don't know. The future of America lies in whoever actually takes the job and does a good job at it. If it's Kamala Harris, if it's fucking Hillary Clinton, whoever it is, whoever takes that job, I just hope they're better and they can actually speak and get their speeches done perfectly. And, not just make a fool of themselves. That's something I don't even think Joe Biden knew he was doing. I don't even think he knew he was making a fool of himself half the time. And if he did, then maybe it was all part of his act. Let's make fun of myself so I stay relevant in the news. Something I don't know. But yeah, that's really it. Joe Biden has decided to say goodbye. Although he will be serving until, I think, the election. So it's now just to see who will be the future president of America. Will Kamala Harris decide not to do it? I think she has a choice, obviously, to do it or not. But we'll see. We'll see the future of America. We'll see how she does if she wins. I personally, I don't think Donald Trump's going to win again. But hey, we'll have to wait and see on that one.